Hello, my name is Ponders from TLPD and this should be the final time loss video I make. It should cover everything. I'm going to be reading the facts, falsehoods, and how-to pages. I may not read the how-to page verbatim, but I'm going to do that so I can cover everything instead of just ramble. It should fill in a lot of blanks, and there's some things, just the one sentence facts that I could elaborate on a lot, but I don't for the sake of not having, 20,000 words per page on the website. First, I'm going to start by flying around from spawn spot to spawn spot. Keep an eye on this map if you want to see where it is on the map, because I'm not going to open this every time, because it's a waste of time. You should probably know where you are anyway. If you're going to spend your time camping this, you should have played enough to pretty much figure out storm peaks, but if you need to know, this mini-map right here. I might get sidetracked here and there. I'm going to try not to. And I'll probably get sidetracked the most while I'm flying around. I'm going to fly to the spawn spots first, and then I'm going to get out of storm peaks. Because there's, too many people camping badly, and I'll want to talk to them and try and help them. And it won't do any good for the video. So, this video is probably going to go on for quite a long time. So if you would rather just have like a quick overview, I'll link the video, the shorter, like 9 or 10 minute video right here in one of the corners I choose later. Or you can go to TLPDresource.com and just read everything. There's a ton posted there. I'm sure I won't say much here, if anything here that's not talked about, at least vaguely there, or in great detail, far greater than it needs to be. So, let's get this going, shall we? This is the Frozen Lake spawn spot. It spawns from right here. There's no variance. It used to spawn from here all the way over to about here, and the flight paths used to vary too, but they don't anymore. And this spawn spot can see waterfall. It doesn't see it spawn yet, but they keep expanding the visual ranges of Viragos and Time Loss, so I'm sure one day if they keep doing it, it will. But right now it comes into view right about right down here roughly. And when it comes from waterfall, and then when it comes from Alduar, it comes into view right about here. It does not spawn at the places I had the cursor, but it does come into view while you're camping here, so you don't have to worry. But that is if it makes it that far, because as you're camping this spawn spot, unless you have people there or other tunes there, you can't know who's camping those. But in a perfect world, if nobody's camping anywhere and you're camping this spawn spot, they should get to you. So I'll start with the facts while I'm flying around here. Health is 18,900, and it's not a hard fight. Time Loss does melee, not like Viragos that stands back and annoys the fuck out of rogues and warriors. But Time Loss will get up in your face and hit you, and it'll the only trick it does, it has a blink spell. It'll blink behind you. So if you're like a level 70 Death Knight, which I've killed Time Loss on before, and 71 and shit with no heirlooms, it's totally doable. It's just a bit of a fight. The only thing that makes that really hard is ads. Ads will, run Jeremy your butthole, and nobody likes that. Well, some people might like that, but I don't like that. It's no fun for me. Never had it happen, but I mean, I think I can figure out that I don't want that. No. So, this is Frozen. This is Waterfall spawn spot. Brunhildar comes by here. Comes into view right over in here, roughly. It used to not come into view till about right here, but with, like I said, the expanded visual ranges spawn. You can see it further back. It spawns. I don't know if I can see it from here. It spawns right here. Last I checked, there was someone there. I'll see that in a second. I don't know why I'm on this mount. You'd think a time loss video, I'd be on a time loss, but I like black. I'm wearing black shorts, a black hat, and a black shirt, and black socks. So having a black mount, finally an actual black mount, is pretty sweet. So, yes, this can only see Brunhildar route. Again, no spawn spots can see other spawn spots actually happen yet, and never has been so far. Some people claim that, but people are crazy. There's someone camping engine makers, by the way, right now. Kind of annoying. That's why I need to get out of here as soon as I show the spawn spots, because I won't be able to focus very well. When I see people flying the routes and shit, I'll just angrily, bounce in my chair and throw water bottles and shit. Nobody wants to hear me do that shit. That's no fun at all. yes, back to the health bit. 18,900. So if you're going to help someone camp, and you're a big dude that can, especially in MOP, Cataclysm is bad enough you could one-shot a really easy in Cataclysm, but even white damage in MOP will be easy to kill it if you're fully geared. So, oh yes, before I get out of here, right here is Brunhildar spawn right here. I'm going to put a campfire right here for this dude. So maybe he doesn't know exactly where it spawns, I'm not too sure. But I'll whisper him on the way to Aldebar and be like, yo, so this is where it spawns closer. If I fall down and die, it's because I'm using my wife's computer to do this, because I'm moving a bunch of files around on mine. Like, I don't know, 200 gigabytes or something. I wanted to do this now. I didn't want to wait for that to finish copying over. So, yes, this mouse, I'm not used to it. I've already killed myself twice. So, auto dismount is kind of a bitch. Let me whisper this yo dude here. Alright, since I can't type and talk today because I'm about 80% more retarded than I drove in traffic for about an hour and a half total today. Traffic, not like Omaha traffic, but which isn't that bad, but Phoenix traffic, which is about 2.5 times thicker, dicker, haha, 2.5 times thicker than Omaha traffic. If you've ever been to Omaha, which if you have, I'm sorry. Omaha's not that bad, honestly, because it's got a lot of shit. It's just there's nothing anywhere near it, which makes it suck. So this is Aldebar. Brunhildar, by the way, there's nothing that comes by that. It's just once you're on Brunhildar spawn spot, just don't let anything out of it, but you can't see anything from the other three. Aldebar is the same. You can't see anything from it. And as you can see, nobody's camping it looks like. At least not properly. Could be someone floating around out there, but I don't care. Spawns right here. And again, if you need to rewind and check this map right here, you can. Where's my fucking hearth to anyway? I'm gonna get out of here as fast as I can. I'm just really burnt out, really, on Storm Peaks and Deep Home Water World, even though the Super Mario theme still plays in my head when I think about it, which is cool. No, it's not. It gets annoying fast because it won't leave my head. And then I love Aldum because I loved ancient Egypt shit. But I'm gonna get back on my black eye because it's the shit. All right. So I covered the hit points right on. All right. TLPD does drop itself as a mount 100% of the time. It really does. Like I said, I'm not sure if I've done a couple takes before this, so if I repeat myself in this video, it won't last long because I'll be past where I was in the last couple videos soon. I had time loss on 26 tunes before MOP, and I've helped at least twice as many people get theirs. Mainly for reasons when I was researching, what was I gonna do? Kill it for no reason? I've seen screenshots of goddamn people that fucking have, 8, 10, 12 time loss in their bank. Fuck those people. I've never killed a time loss that didn't go to someone that could use it. Never. And there's only one PSD that went to waste, and it's because we did the exact same method we'd done a few times and had it work. And one time we had a GM ticketed it to a person via GM, and one time it didn't work, and I quit doing it after that because I just didn't want to go through that fury. I actually quit for a while after that, but I just couldn't do it. And actually, on notsora.com on Pondbrain, in Pondbrain, the blog thing there, I think the first post is actually a fucking huge bitch about that. So, yes. Anyway, it does drop I've never ever killed time loss and not seen it drop. The only reason it does that is because Wowhead will record a kill even if you target it and do damage, it'll record that. And if it's grayed out to someone else, you get no loot. Or maybe they're attacking and a hunter pet did all the damage. I'm not sure exactly how, but that 98 or 99 points whatever percent drop rate is not really true on Wowhead. So don't worry too much about that. Don't think that you might spend a couple months out there and then finally kill time lost and its dick just flops around in your face like, oh, you don't get to ride me. It's not gonna happen. As long as, you know, the name's not grayed out, as long as you get the tag and you kill it. So I'm not level 90 because, you know, I've been working a fuckload. So I kind of like to play more, but I just haven't had time. This weekend I hope to get to 90. If anyone's playing, symphonyofnoise@yahoo.com. I'll probably run instances and shit more than quest, because I really get sick of questing. So I'll run around this place because I don't know it yet. Really, I played beta, but not much really, because I got tired of, you know, targeting and shit and crashing. Yeah, it's not cool. So finally, now that I won't be distracted by Storm Peaks people and shit. Let's see. Phasing may cause time loss to come in and out of view at the edges of the phases, but can be seen in all phases, same as ANX. I'm not going to ramble about ANX, but I'm not aware of any phase versions being present in any of the 4 spawn spots, which is kind of true. Before I start, even though I am pretty sure there is a phase line between the Barnhilder spawn and Barnhilder itself. Yes, Barnhilder spawn and Barnhilder itself. Yes, that's what I was just going to say. So I should just finish reading before I talk. Right on. Okay. Yes. Though I'm not sure it's a phase line anymore, but it does seem to be, because when you're coming from Barnhildar down that mountain to where the minefield and shit is, Time Lost and Varagosa, if you're following it, usually always seem to come out of sight. Very strange, and you're right about there. They don't despawn there, but they do go out of sight. So, and don't worry about phases. I didn't mean to move the microphone, my bad. Because, like, for example, ANX. I will talk about ANX just for this example, because this has been the most evidence I've seen of it not being a problem. There's been times we've had 2 people on a spawn spot in different phases. We had actually a lot of people on spawn spots in different phases. There's only 2 phases there in Deep Home. Jagged Waste when there's combat behind the temple, and then when there's not. Those are the only 2 phases that are related to ANX at all. Unless it's engaged, but once it's engaged, you're fucked anyway, so don't worry about anything when it flies its path. But yes, and when ANX spawned, it was visible in both phases until someone mounted it, and then it was only visible in the phase that did not have combat. Because the phase that does not have combat is the normal phase, and when you're in the phase where you have combat going on behind it, excuse me, during like a 5 or 6, 7 part. There's on the ANXresource.com. There's a phase study linked from fucking somewhere. I'm sorry, I don't know where exactly. It's been a while. So yes. So don't worry about phases. As long as it's up and not being engaged, you'll be able to see it. It's no problem. And like I said, if you're camping properly on spawn spots, not flying around, that is not a problem, not a worry at all. And when you're in on Frozen Lake and Waterfall, I'm not aware of any phases around there, so even less of a problem. So no worries. It can spawn from any of the 4 spawn spots multiple times in a row, or not spawn from 1 a dozen times in a row. Holy fuck, is that totally true? I mean, Jesus Christ. There's times where it would never fucking Varagosa and Time Lost would like not spawn from Waterfall at all for like a week, and then like it would only spawn from like Waterfall and Frozen Lake for like 3 days, and it was just crazily random. And one of the reasons I had spent so much time on this is I wanted to find a pattern. That was my boner goal. I really wanted to find a pattern. Anything, even like kind of, and the only kind of I found was the no spawn window, 6 hours in Wrath, 45 minutes in Cataclysm. I have no idea in MOP. I have no idea. I probably will never know. I hope not, unless I get paid to go out and camp for people, which I hope not. Please don't. Please don't hire me. I love the gold / money, whatever you choose, but I don't want to do it. I really don't. I don't have time anyway, except for on the weekend. But I don't think you can get lucky in 2 days. Hate to say it, and plus I don't like losing sleep. I really made myself sick fucking with this shit for the year or 2. I had access to do that. Yes, normal quick resets usually do not restart timers. Full maintenance, though, does. It may be safe to just assume timers are reset for any reset, though. The reason I posted that is, in the logs, there was really no change in. Like I said, there's no pattern, but when there was a maintenance, I mean, if you took the down when servers went down and came back up and closed it up, you could see a much more obvious gap in time, that there was no spawns when maintenance happened, and when resets happened, it was just clockwork. It was very similar each spawn. I mean, you know, no patterns obviously, but I mean, you could see it, and anyone that looked at those logs, mine or anyone else's, it was pretty obvious, especially in Wrath. In Cataclysm, it was harder because there was more spawns more often, and it would go from like, you know, 4, the hours in between would go like 4, 12, 6, 10, 4, 8, 7, 12, 14, 12. So it wasn't quite so much like it was in Wrath. Because Wrath, there was a little less variation as there was in Cataclysm, and I'm sure MOP is probably even stranger and more sporadic and probably more frequent from what I've read, from what GMs are saying, which isn't anything specific because you can't, cause, you know, they don't want to help you like that. They're not supposed to. Sorry, I'm rambling more than I intend to. Let's see. Regarding NPC scan / Silver Dragon caching, just go to TLPDresource.com to deal with that shit. Because I don't want to reading directory trees, you know, folders, whatever it's called, in your operating system world. It's no fun, you know. Nobody likes to hear, you know, C:/ /users / asterisk username asterisk for, you know, no one wants to read that shit. So TLPDresource.com. It's on see, there's talk about on new facts or facts, and then if you go to how to, under the add-ons and shit section, I mean, it doesn't say in shit, there's a section on that there. But there's a I will mention though, while I'm on that subject, the cache and shit in Windows, it was throwing things into a secondary folder under like app data local virtual store program files. So you might want to look into that if you ever have problems clearing out your cache. Time loss project has been down multiple times after 4.0.1. I should update that to 5.0.5 or whatever the fuck we're on, because there's been a lot of fucking people, hey, is it true they're taking out time lost? Like, who the fuck? Like, really? Really? It's gonna happen in every expansion, I'm sure, until they quit expanding the game, or, you know, Stormpeaks gets destroyed or something. You know, it happened in Cataclysm. They were talking about players were getting trolled by other people. You know, oh, they're gonna take out time loss. They didn't, and they haven't in MOP. So pretty sure people just like to fuck with you. So don't worry about that. It's still there. It's definitely still there. You can't skin TLPD. You can skin Viragosa. So I'm sure you've seen people say time loss spawn, blah blah blah, at this location, but I skinned it. Well, they can't skin it. So, and if you're trying to play counterintelligence on people, you can definitely say that. You know, you just fuck with people. Plus, it'll help you figure out who knows shit. And a lot of people will be out there that don't know anything. They're like, oh, alright, I guess if you skinned it, I can't see it, so I'm just going to leave. It works sometimes. But that's also how you can meet people that are camping and know what they're doing, and then, you know, join forces if you want to gamble that, which I always did. It was great fun. Meet a lot of cool people. Some dicks, you know. It's also kind of risky getting, you know, pissed. Oh, fuck you, I'm going to bring my whole guild and stack on you. It's no fun either. But I like gambling. It's great. The altitudes per path based on spawn spot and direction, they don't differ. I need to change that. It's been a long time since I've seen that. Let's see here. Flight speed is not always constant. This is still true though. Let's see here. Flight speed is not always constant. Usually it cruises just under normal mountain speed, but both Fire and TLPD, especially TLPD, can fly damn near as fast as 280% speed mounts at times. But with guild speed perk, it's not quite as noticeable, but it is still fucking annoying. Especially if you're sitting at, say, Frozen Lake spawn spot. If you're sitting there and you're not really fucking paying attention, like you're watching TV or you're taking a shit or, you know, having a 10-way with like a million women or whatever. Math doesn't work there, but it's not the point. And it takes a second to get to the screen. You may get there and it may be totally out of sight. So, and that really sucks at Frozen Lake. because you don't know if it spawned there, if it came from Waterfall or came from Alduar. I mean, if you get there within like 30 seconds, it should still be in sight. But shitty balls. I mean, it can fly really fast, and if you have to, if it spawned at anywhere really, you have to figure in how much time it'll take for you to catch up to it, based on how long it's been up, based on all the campers around. You know, it can be a real pain in the ass. So be aware of that. Let's see here. It can and does spawn multiple days in a row. In just 1 week, it spawned Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. That was a fucked up week. I know for a fact because one day a prick got it. 2 days, 2 guys who had been out there got theirs, and Saturday I scored my newest TLPD on my hunter. Broken. Conversely, it cannot spawn for weeks straight. Broken. That was the name of my hunter. Yes. The very worst camp I ever had was 26 days. Solid. I mean, fucking solid. I had 3 tunes out there, and the hunter, his name was Orcbane. I was helping him, and I had been leveling up my Death Knight. TLPD Killer was his name before he even got the TLPD. It wasn't one of those things where I got time lost. I'm gonna rename my tune TLPD Killer. No, I actually fully knew it was gonna get time lost because I knew how to do it, and you know, not nearly as there was no cross realm server shit, none of that. It was pretty fucking sweet. So I was helping him camp, and I just happened to put him out there, and I had my pally. What the hell? I had my pally on Alduar, and it spawned out there. And Orcbane, I believe, I think he was at Waterfall or Brunhildar, one of the two. And when it spawned out there, I had TLPD Killer at Frozen Lake, and I tagged it with Distraught and held it. I used whatever the fuck I used, I don't remember. I think I used Flash of Light, but at the time it was still Wrath, so it like only took like 10% of its health. And then I flew TLPD Killer out there, and I kind of felt like I felt really bad because Orcbane and I were just fucking losing our minds. I don't know how many, I'm sure way over 20 Vargoses had spawned during those 26 days, and it was just, we were stressed and it was fucking crazy. So when it spawned, I took it on TLPD Killer because I think he was AFK for just like 30 or 40 seconds, a little while, long enough for me to get out there and beat him to it. But after that, I stuck out there with him because then I had no tunes I wanted to get it on, and the next spawn was 9 hours later, and it was time lost again, and yeah. Then he got his. I felt terrible. I'm like, man, what if it's another 20 days? You know, I was offering to, theoretically, I'd never done it before, but I was offering to log him in and camp for him and shit and pay. I think I don't know if I did pay for a month of his time. Orcbane, if you ever hear this, I will pay for another month of your time just to make myself feel better. But he did get his 9 hours later. It's pretty sweet. Let's see here. Times 2. Has the same spawn locations as Vargosa. You should probably know that by now. Time lost pro Drake is confirmed by Blue Post. Does despawn after period if nobody is able to, quote, catch it, unquote. So, and there's a lot of evidence of that I've seen. Not personally. Well, I've never seen a time loss be up for that long. So, well, I've got that one video where I was following it around, and when I invited my buddy at despawn, and we couldn't find it again no matter what we tried. So, sorry about that. So there's that, and then there's goddamn that button. A guy was holding time lost for someone else and ended up dying after about 30 minutes, and time loss was nowhere to be found after that too, and that was a live server. So yeah, I totally believe that. I just don't know what the despawn timer is and what the mechanics of it are exactly. So be aware of that. You shouldn't need to be aware of that, because if you're camping spawn spots, you know, it shouldn't make more than one path if you're camping one they can see it. And if you're camping the 4 path, which I should have shown, the 4 path I use now, it's not that one on the ledge anymore. It's on the website. Alright, and it can in fact spawn in the place of Vargosa at any time. Vargosa can spawn, even if it's the same day. I'm not going to read the rest of that. Yes, that's from what I understand it. I mean, it looks like how it works to me. I mean, I'm not sure if there's some other mechanic at play, but from the best anyone but developers can tell, is when there's gonna be a spawn, it's almost always Varagosa, but instead time loss can take its place and spawn. That's the theory behind it, really. And I say theory because none of us are devs, and that's just. And there hasn't been any like time loss Varagosa spawns back to back as far as like 15 minutes apart or whatever, especially not in Wrath. I mean, like looking at the logs, it looks like, you know, it just doesn't look any other way but, you know, because it doesn't look like there's any time loss stuck in between two Varagosa spawns ever. It just doesn't look like that at all. So that's where that theory comes, that hypothesis comes from. It's really more of a hypothesis than a theory. After time loss of Varagosa is killed, used to be minimum. Yeah, I've talked about that. I don't just assume it's 45-minute no spawn time in MOP. I haven't gotten any emails. I haven't seen any mention anywhere of any no spawn windows being less than 45 minutes, as far as I know. No, I can't. No, I haven't. I haven't seen any. I have to think about that for a second. I don't like to say anything definitively if I'm not sure, and it's really annoying for me. For me. TLPD does a blink-like spell. Talked about that. It will most likely dismount you shortly. Ah, fuck. I didn't know that was on the site. Son of a bitch. Snowfall Auger. I hate it. I don't like it. Why don't I like it? Because you really shouldn't need it. I mean, even in Wrath, I would aggro shit, and I can only think... I don't think I've been dismounted more than 10 times by Varagosa and Time Lost combined. Time Lost. And I pulled them both out of the sky quite a few times. You know, time loss gets away from you sometimes, gets away from people, especially in the instant aggro days, which are long gone. I'll cover that in a second. Because if you aggro it or for any reason, when you use Snowfall Logger, if you don't do it just right, you don't float straight down. You float at a 45-degree angle, and if you fucking do that at a certain height, you will float further than time loss of Varagosa can be pulled, especially in there's a lot of places, if you've seen if you know what the paths are, there's a lot of places that you can very easily in a 45-degree angle get out of range. So I really suggest fuck any slowfall stuff and just plan where you're gonna aggro it and fly somewhere nearby. And pull it down to a mountainside or down to the snow or whatever, anything. Just please don't use Snowfall Logger. So many people I know have lost time loss because they're fucking. Well, I popped Snowfall Logger, and right then I was like, I know what happens next. You don't have to tell me anymore, but so shitty balls. So shitty. Just don't use it. Delete it. If you have it in your bag right now, like look at it and start yelling and flipping off the screen and like start swatting it like it's a fly and shit, and then delete it. People in the room be like, what the fuck is wrong with them? Like, shut up, fuck you. It's, rare cap. Yes. Let's see, rare cap. Let's see, 4.1. It did used to be 2, and the reason we knew that, there's a huge write-up on it on the site. I don't want to go into that one. It's no point now, because it went. The most I've seen of at the same time personally is like 6. I mean, at the same time. Literally simultaneously. Not like I flew the path and killed 12 of them in a row. No, I mean like same exact time. Multiple tunes, you know. So I honestly don't see any difference really in spawn frequency like in Wrath, because back then, if you didn't know, if the spawn cap was reached, nothing else would spawn, nothing. And like I said, there's a write-up on the extensive testing we did on that. So we would go around and kill them, and when we were killing them, we would the typical time between spawns went down to, you would see the 6 hours between spawns, from 6 to like 12 maybe, when we were killing them hardcore, like multiple tunes out, killing them, just raping them right in the face. And then when we weren't, it was like 12 to 18, 20 hours in between. It was just cut and dry in Wrath, not in Cata. Beginning of Cata, yes, but after 4.1, no, not at all. And MOP, I have no idea. So don't worry about a rare cap. If anyone tells you about one, as far as even ANAX is concerned, we couldn't find any evidence. We tried. So don't worry about that. Let's see here. Did I mention the bleak bike spell twice? Possibly. Let's see. Yeah, the chart about the flight paths, I need to get rid of that. Mount speed is 280%. The amount you learn is 280%, unless, of course, you have the higher training, in which case you fly 310%, all that. Should be pretty common knowledge by now, I hope. Let's see, falsehoods. Let's see, the script that shows range that is supposed to only, quote, only load if someone has recently looted it, unquote, is something that needs to disappear forever. Let me read this. Regarding linkable range, which I added quite a while into the site's life. Range do not only become linkable when someone kills / loots. Well, this is ANX, but I should change that too. I probably won't, but I should. There are 3 reasons that I know of why range switch from unlinkable to linkable, and 2 of the reasons are why I don't even bother with it. 1, someone kills TLPD and loots the reins. Well known, already stated above. Everyone knows that part. Number 2, someone has an old version of Atlas loot from before Blizzard had them alter the way it retrieves information because it would force a server to fetch uncached item information, thus caching it on the server so other people will link them as well. Anyone that still has one of these versions can punch in their reins and force them to be linkable. Apparently for a short time, from what people who do it have said. I've done it. After I figured that out, I'd go into Storm Peaks when I saw 10 or 20 people there and do that, and then sit there and, sure, usually within like an hour, oh, fucking, where did it spawn? Where did it spawn? Jesus Christ. Very frustrating to see. And then number 3, a player has the reins unlearned in their bag / bank and logged in. And I've done this myself with ANX after that fucking PSD. Phosphorescent Stone Drake was sitting in my fucking bags after the GMs were like, nope, haha, nope. And yes, I would see it not linkable and log in that tune, and then instantly on other tunes, even on other computers, laptops and shit, it was linkable on that server. So good times. There's other theories like the battle groups are linked or whatever, which is entirely possible. And when someone gets it on one of those or logs in or whatever, it can make it be linkable or does the Atlas loot trick. So I'm sure there's probably more reasons that it can become linkable. Any number of reasons. So don't worry about shit's linkable. I shouldn't camp. Well, just camp for fuck's sakes. Just camp. Let's see, there is not a verified, predictable, narrowly specific way to plan on spawns like the clear-cut spawn patterns in the Dalaran books. Yes, the Dalaran books, what the hell? If you haven't, I'm not watching the screen I'm playing WoW on, I'm reading the website. The Dalaran books, just for fun, actually, I don't know if this is the same as it used to be, but in Wrath, and from what I understand in Cataclysm, from people that did it in Cataclysm, after a book spawns, whether it's real or fake, it's like Varagosa Time Lost. It's another deal like that. Excuse me kindly. After a book spawns, another one will spawn between the 3 hour mark. I just learned English today. I'm not very good at it. After the 3 hour mark of a Dalaran book being clicked on, between 3 hours and 4 hours, another book would spawn. And just like Varagosa and Time Lost, it could be a fake book, usually a fake book, or it could be a real book. And every single book location is on a different timer. So if you had a hard time figuring out Dalaran books, that might help you right there. Grats, good job. Do that shit, get that pet, hell yeah. Let's see here. TLPD does not have a chance to spawn instantly after Varagosa is killed. Yeah, I still hear that shit. It's like, well, Time Lost is killed, so I'm gonna hang around for an hour in case, or Varagosa was killed, I'm gonna hang around for an hour or two in case, or whatever the fuck. I've heard so many different periods of time after, like 15 minutes was a real common one. I haven't heard that so much lately, but yeah, fucking Varagosa just spawned, so that means Time Lost can spawn within the next 15 minutes. Like, I don't even remember where the fuck, maybe there's a Wowhead troll comment, or if there's a website out there that says that, I don't know. I'm probably gonna fucking die. I don't really care that much. So, that's bullshit. It's if one spawns, the other one isn't going to spawn anytime soon, really. So, yes. Let's see here. You can't skin TLPD. Yes. As on the site it says, it appears both on facts and falsehoods. Having a tomb named Varagosa in the zone will not force TLPD to spawn instead of Varagosa. And then in parentheses it does say, seriously was trying Area 52. Good idea. Smilo! That's his fucking name. Warrior. Cool dude. Yes, he did try that. He mentioned it, and we laughed, and like, yeah, it's not gonna work, and it's not even gonna let me make a tune that name. It sure did. Exactly. No, no anti-characters, nothing. What's this shit? I'm gonna die by that, aren't I? So, it didn't. Yeah, we had like 3 or 4 Barbarossa spawns while I was in the zone, and it was like, well, you know, what can you do? Yeah, when he got fucking a kill on that, I know he recorded it. I'm not sure if he posted it anywhere, but man, pretty great. Is this like suicide? Okay, let's see, there is not always a week or more window between spawns, which I even thought that it was like 3 or 4 days when I started before I really learned about it. So yes, which it would be cool if there was like no, if there's a 1 or 2 week window, if there's no time loss because time loss just died. Developers, what's up? You know, it'd be pretty cool. You know, because if you're camping in a group, then you could just fuck off, even though that would just show people, hey, it's already died. They're not out here, so we can leave. But anyways, it'd be cool for hardcore campers to help people all the time. The minimum spawn time, talked about that, is not randomly spawned at dozens of spots around storm peaks. It's the bane of my existence. Like people camping. Oh, I saw it spawn here. I should edit in. I might edit in, since there's really nothing going on you can watch. The Wrath of Khan video thing, where time loss despawned. Or was that time loss despawning? Yeah, it was. I followed that fucker around. It went the full frozen lake path so many times, and in the end it despawned, which really fucking blew. But I purposefully would fly ahead of it and wait and record so it would come into view, because I wanted people to see it's not fucking spawning just because it appears in front of you. And that's what, as well, I saw it spawn right. I was like, no, coming into view and spawning are 2 totally different things. So yes, that is true. Let's see here. It does not spawn on Engine of the Makers. It does patrol across it, but does not spawn there. Appearing on your screen does not mean it's where it spawns. I should have known and said that. Barragosa does not have a chance of dropping the TLPD reigns. I'm not sure where that came from either. I've heard it around, and I've actually met people that actually believed that. Like, oh, I really wanted to kill it so I can get a chance at the time loss. Like, shit. Let's see. Durkee is not on the same spawn timer as Barragosa and TLPD, nor is Skull. A lot of people used to think that, but I know there's a Skull screenshot of Barragosa in the background, and I know one exists on the forums anyway of Durkee and. Or wait, no, Durkee and Barragosa definitely is up, and someone had put a Skull and Barragosa one on the forums. So I just love that. It's so sweet. So there's that. I'm really tired. My voice probably sounds like shit, like usual. Am I right? So I'm sorry about that. It's not that I'm in a bad mood. It's just I'm tired as balls. It's been a long week. I'm so fucking glad it's Friday. Let's see here. How to. Let's see. Yeah, I made a. If you haven't been to the how to in a long time, there's some green text at the bottom. Wait. Wall of text. Anything less detailed? Oh my god, what the fuck? And it's just a how to quick sheet. Check spawn spots. Check places where paths meet for campers. Note the names. Blah 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 blah. Let's see here. Well, I'll just do a quick overview of that, really, because a lot of this, like I say, I've already gone into as I scroll through it here. Add-ons and macros. I'll talk about that. That's something that really needs to be explained, apparently, because a lot of people don't really get it. What I did in the add-ons and macros page, the very first one, when you scroll down, there's frames that have examples of macros segments. Think of them as segments, like Legos. And you can only put so many of the Legos together before you reach the character limit. Clear target. These are 4 lines. Clear target / tar Barragosa / tar time loss / stop macro. That's like I always use that in the very first part of any macro I make. Let me skip that song. That's what Jesus would do. And then anything after that is optional, like whatever you want. Like all the descriptions are in there, but %T is one I use a lot, because when I'm partying with someone, I usually have the percent, like /P for party space %T, so it'll report whatever I got targeted in the party chat which is help no matter what you're camping. Because like helping hunters camp skull, it's nice to know when that starts going off. If you go to ANX Resource, speaking of camping, if you go to anxresource.com/bot.html, I can't believe I'm putting this up on there, but mentioning this anymore. I'm never going to link it from the website, I'm just not. But if you go to anxresource.com/bot.html, it's not so much, it's not about botting, because I've never been a fan of botting. I've never fucking been behind automatic, you know, setting a fucking tune somewhere, or having a program fly you around, and then when it sees time loss, where I go and kill it, or have it set up to auto kill. I fucking don't like that. I don't. The only thing I don't bitch about anymore is if people set it up to automatically, like auto hotkey. I've used that for years for multi-boxing. I didn't start. Anyone that thinks, Punters, you're only lucky because you multi-box. Well, that helped me camp. That helped me a lot. It did. But I've been multi-boxing since BC. And time loss wasn't in BC, and there's really, I don't know what I don't even think I knew about rares really. I've killed them, and I had some, you know, not medium rare, I had medium rare achievement on a few tunes, but I didn't give a fuck about them. You know, the cool loot, that's, you know, I didn't really care. I wasn't an achievement whore even so bad. So, I multi-box because once you go into instances as, say, a tank and a healer, or like a tank and 2 DPS, or a DPS and a healer, anything. And then you go in as just one. It's really fucking annoying. It's just, I imagine it must be like someone having 2 arms all their life, or whatever. Any of us that have had all of our limbs and losing one. I imagine for however long it would take to use not using it, it would just be fucking annoying. So, but anyways, I did stray off topic, even though I'm not in Storm Peaks. I apologize, my deepest apologies. But the macros, yes. See, I have a, I don't have the map print one in there, do I? Oh, I do, okay. That was used when I was, I have, I'll admit it, and if Blizzard bans me for this, you know, that's life, right? I had when I was researching ANX, I had 2 tunes on autopilot. I'm not even going to go into how, because it was kind of annoying, but my that wasn't the problem, because I've never fucking botted herbs and ore, or honor, or whatever else people can bot. I don't like that, because, well, plus I don't need to, because farming herbs and ore is therapeutic for me. It calms me down, makes me happy. It doesn't make me happy, but I mean, if I'm really irritated, that puts my mind into focus, and I calm down usually. Maybe just because it dulls me to death, but I have no need for a bot. But I had it automatically flying around. I had a bunch of different paths before we even knew there were 6 spawn spots for ANX, and where that map print position came from was, if I'm not, I didn't have any desire to get it because I already had it on my main, but I wanted to know where the spawn spots were, and the way one of the ways I did that was, I had the target macro running, and I had another button getting hit with the target macro because I couldn't fit it all into one, and on the second button, one of the sections of the macro was the coordinates, and some of you already figured out what was going on there. So when I came back and say I targeted Bloodseeker somewhere, and like, there's no way you're gonna fucking know that flying around, unless you have that map, that coordinates macro. Thus, I come back and say, oh shit, I found Bloodseeker, where was it? And I see where it was, and then I could take a tune and park it there, you know, to figure out exact altitudes and get screenshots and all that shit. And I have the /run screenshots, you can automatically do that. The sound enable FX, that's if you want to camp with the sound off. Then you can I don't know exactly which one you click in there, but if you have your sound on and you do Control S to shut it off, the macro will turn it back on. I think when you shut all the sound off at the very top of the sound settings, I guess I can do that since I'm recording a video, not just talking. If you use this one, it won't turn back on. I think Control S does sound effects, right? That sound effects box right here. Let's see. Yeah, this box. If you don't want to do Control S, do that. I have sound effects off because, you know, I've got the music on in the background. That should be enough. Don't want to put too many layers of sound on this. Let's see here. What else is in this how-to section? Further points of advice. PvP. I'm not. Oh, there it is. PvP. I'll just talk about it though. Um, if you're camping a PvP server, well, even any server, don't PvP. You're not. You don't want to. Yes, you love PvP. Yes, you know, I love hiking. You know, I will say hiking in real life is kind of similar to PvPing while you're fucking camping in World of Warcraft, because I literally, in person, right next to them, have seen people miss time lost in Vargosa. Some of the Vargosa ones mainly were for frostbitten, but they do PvPing, like, well, I got a long time to wait, might as well PvP. Yeah, good, but then when something spawns and you don't get it in time, you got nobody to blame but yourself, because, you know, you weren't focused on camping. And one of the reasons, like, well, you can't really be burned out on camping. Well, when I camp, anything I do, I go too far. And when I camp, I like essentially have the same general focus of mind. My ears are perked up. I've got, like, when I'm going to the bathroom, I know how many. I knew how many. This is sad to admit, but I knew it took 3 steps to get out of the bathroom while zipping up my pants. Hopefully, my penis and my zipper don't have a conversation, because that sucks. 3 steps out of the bathroom, and then I knew once I hit the carpet, I could go a lot faster to get back to the computer if I heard something spawn. And there's been times where, according to the NPC timestamp, NPC scan timestamp versus when I got back, I got out of bed, ran around the bed, because I sleep on, my wife likes to sleep on the side next to the door, and I was on the other side. I'd get out of bed and run around it and run through the living room and into the computer room, and I'd be in a dead sleep and make it to the computer within, I think, 8 seconds, dead sleep. So, and it was, I mean, my reaction time was great, and, you know, running at that frequency for as many months as I did, no, it's never healthy. I don't suggest that at all. And if I usually tell people, camp 24/7 to get your time lost. And in this regards, when it comes to health, if you've been at it a month or two and you're like dying figuratively, and you just feel shitty, and especially if you start physically having manifestations, you know, like I don't want to use any examples I had, because some of it's just disgusting and too much information. But if you start like getting sick, take a break. It's still going to have a chance to spawn when you come back. Take a break, get well, feel better, and take care of yourself. But back to the PvP bit. You're not going to want to do it. If you're on a PvP server, there is a way. I didn't see that fucking thing in the macros though. I really would hope I had put it in there, because it was one of my favorite things. I've played on a couple PvP servers, camping, helping people camp. It's like / retrieve corpse. Fuck, I really didn't put it on there. That's just a bunch of donkey shit right there. But I'll have to edit that. I will make sure I edit that one on there. But one thing you can put in the macro is you can be dead and be sitting at your corpse. Now, why would I do that? You know, fucking, when you take your body back and you have 50% health, especially level 80 and anything above that, that's more than enough hit points to just destroy time lost in Vargosa. So, and even at like 75, I'm pretty confident any of my tunes at 75 could have killed him from half health with no buffs, no problem. I can't, yeah, as long as there's no ads, no problem. So, the reason you want to do that on a PvP server, not just because once you're dead they can't kill you, and that has many more perks beyond that. Number one, when they come up and see a corpse there, a lot of times people will be like, holy shit, what spawned, you know, who killed, what killed it, or was it a player? It just adds questions, adds confusion. Sometimes people see that and be like, well, something must just spawn and they're dead and they haven't gotten their corpse yet, I'm just going to go look for it, or leave or whatever. And it's very good, especially, and they can't, if they're the same faction, they can see you're in the zone. And sometimes, I'm not sure, I think you have to be in party to see someone's ghost, right? I'm not sure. But the other faction, I don't think can see your ghost at all. I could be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure you can't. Because, I mean, I played Melganis. That was my first server in vanilla. And I've been on PvP servers, like I said, and I don't remember ever seeing another faction's ghost. Because that would be too easy. I'm 99% sure you can't. So, you can sit there and we use the macro. You can have the macro built in. So, say you have the clear target and all that shit, and then the next line after all that, retrieve corpse, and then the line after that, /cast, you know, fist fucked or whatever you have for your character. so in one keystroke, gets your corpse, cast a spell, and I'm not sure if it does it in one keystroke, but when you're sitting there fucking spamming your shit, it might as well be one keystroke. Because if you retrieve your corpse on one macro and then the next macro is your spell cast, you know, if you're sitting there and people are fucking around or anything, if people aren't paying attention and you're spamming your macro and something spawns, you know, on your spawn spot, it'll retrieve your corpse and cast some shit on it. And that's, I mean, if you didn't know, if you hadn't thought of that by now, you're probably like, wow, that's fucking really... I about shit my pants when I came up with that. Because I didn't want a PvP. I didn't want to have shit to do with that. People were trolling. There was 100 that would come through and kill us all. And, I mean, we could fight it off, but we didn't want to. Because we wanted to be able to focus on what we were doing. So we just let them kill us. The other guy would get mad a couple times and fight, and come on, dude, let's focus here. So I was helping him. I didn't want it on that server. I already had it on that server. So I just killed I'd fly my level 1s up in there because I was camping with level 1s for eyes when there was no one to cover those spots, and I'd drop them down and kill them by making them fall. And then I just chill. And you can, as far as the visual range, if you're on your corpse, you have the same visual range as you do when you're alive. So don't worry, like, well, if I'm dead, how am I going to see him? So don't worry about that. But the one thing is, when you fly away from your body, you can't see anything. It shows you, it renders the world, obviously, but it doesn't show you any NPCs or anything. Maybe some special cases, like spirit healers, it shows you all those. But as far as any NPCs, especially time lost, anything you'd want to see, that you can't see it unless you're at your corpse. So, because I think the theory there, I'm imagining, would be because that's where your eyes are. So your spirit can't really see anything without your human eyes to be able to see for you, you know. I have no idea if that's what Blizzard was thinking, but it makes sense to me. So there's the PvP bit. Let's see if I can find anything else to cover here. Hopefully this has been interesting and not too much annoyance. On the website there's screenshots of how I personally set up Silver Dragon. Some stuff about NPC scan. Let's see here. Q&A. Let's see if there's anything interesting in there. Rare spawn cap theory. Blah blah blah. Talks about that. Attempting to reduce fire TLPD spawn times. Talks about that. Yeah, TLPD prefers any spawn spots. It does not. It's pretty even. How do you know it's 25% of? Well, after hundreds of kills, you know. Not time loss, but dozens and dozens of time loss, hundreds of Argosa. It's just, you know, when you think back on it, and you can see pretty clearly after a while. It may be like, if I were to crunch the numbers, maybe it's like 27% here, 22% here, but I wouldn't trust that at all, because I'm sure if you did the exact same, like say a 2-year span, I would bet everything I've ever made or ever will make in my life that if this is not, you know, maybe there's a dev that knows more, and I'm gonna get his money. But I would be willing at this point, based on what I know, to bet everything that if you did that for 2 years, I mean all 4 spawn spots for 2 years, and then the next 2 years did it again, that the statistics would shift somewhere else, just because random bullshit. Random number generator is not your friend in this situation. Let's see, I've never seen any spawns, but I'm right now operating under the assumption that she spawns at, quote, exactly an hour on the point I last go. Excuse me. This goes back to not being able to predict anything. You know, people that think it spawns at 5 minutes after. Excuse me. What is this? What is going on? Or exactly on the hour, or 55 minutes. You know, any of those things. It just doesn't. It's just not true at all. I've seen it at every single mark after the hour, and I haven't gone down to seconds. But oh, and if you see the 15-minute warning for resets and cleanup or maintenance, I mean, cleanup is a Major Mud term. I can't believe I still use it. It's been years since I played that text. It's a text-based game, Major Mud. Cleanup is what they called their maintenance. But if you see the 15-minute warning for maintenance and shit, don't just log out. I've seen Varagosa. I don't remember time. I'm sure there's been time loss, but I had a Varagosa spawn 30 seconds before the servers went down. So at no point during any of those warnings, well, maybe the 15-second warning, but I mean, 30 seconds. It was like right after the 30-second warning. And killed Varagosa, scanned it before the servers went down. So, really? And that's going to be in the video. So don't be scared of if you stay on all the way till it disconnects you. I've had that happen to me. I have no idea how many times, and I've never had a tune disappear. I've never had anything negative happen. So don't worry about that. I would camp all the way to the last minute. And if you're AFK when it resets happen, you won't be there to see it anyway. I planning to do more research into it, blah blah blah. I'm not anymore. I think at the time that question was asked, I sure was. I sure did. Let's see here. Yes, that should pretty much cover it quite nicely. I realized it wasn't in Storm Peaks the whole time, but I showed the spawn spots I'm getting. That should be cool. Now, one of the first videos of the set of 3, I looked around. One of those in the set of 3, I showed generally how I go around and look for people. Sorry I didn't have more interesting visual shit in the video as far as shit to see, but I'd rather not totally die and make a total ass out of myself. I mean, it's bad enough that I ramble a lot. You know what I'm saying, guys? Hopefully you get a time loss spawn, like right there. You fucking don't have to sit out there for weeks at a time. And have a good day. Take care of yourself. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I shouldn't say feel free to ask, because I do get pissed off when people ask me shit that's posted a million different times on the website and then videos and shit. But so I guess I should rephrase that. And if you're still curious, visit TLPDresource.com and thumb through it. Or actually read the whole thing. If you're camping, you have time to read the whole site 100 times. And I rarely ever get questions that aren't on there, that aren't covered on the site. And when I do, the very rare times I do get those, I update the site to cover that. So, and I haven't had a question that wasn't on the site in a long time. So, that's a challenge. If you like challenges and something to do while you're camping, try and find something that's not covered on the site. And if you're confident it's not covered on the site, and the old how-to menu does not count. If you go to the how-to that's up there right now and scroll all the way down to the bottom, it says if you want to look through the old how-to section, feel free, here you go, and then here you go, you click that, and it's got 7 sections. Yeah, that doesn't count. If it's in there but not anywhere else, tell me. If it's, especially if it's important, you can feel free to, hey, check this out, this would be real useful for the rest of the site. So it's kind of creepy, this ending. I was playing, the music that's been playing in the background is Symphony of Noise, and the album is The Death of It All, and it's very creepily at the very last song of that album. And it wasn't intentional. I wasn't just trying to talk to fill time, though I'm probably going to wait till the song is over now, because why the fuck wouldn't I, right? Yeah. Sorry if I rambled too much for you. Sorry if you lost attention. If you quit listening, that's cool. I don't listen to myself either, which is why I repeat myself a lot. I'll probably go in and edit war drums here and there throughout the course of this video because I'm a dick, and it's hilarious. One of my CDs I put out under Symphony of Noise, symphonyofnoise.com. Shameless plug. I'm sorry. Actually, it's not a CD that's out yet. It's one it's going to be the Latin term for beautiful desert, I believe. There's a song on there that the war drum is in the middle of, and I always forget that I did that. So when it goes off, I'm like, I don't even have a fucking WoW open. What's going on? I'm like, oh yeah. So, good luck to everyone. I love all of you. Thank all of you for all your comments and donations and everything. I haven't been donations in a long time. But, the best of luck to everyone. Take care and have a good day. Later.